Hey, I'm Daxx Nielsen. I'm currently drumming for Cheap Trick here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin during the Dream Police show. Well, I started out when I first started playing. I never really took lessons, as you can tell. But
No.
I put my headphones on and I would just try to play along with my favorite band of the year or week or whatever it was, and learn how to play things or learn how not to play things, depending on how proficient the guy was. But one day I got pretty proud of myself and I called my father down and said, "Hey, let me show you what I'm doing." And I started going crazy and playing. He's like, "Well, can you play a straight beat for 10 minutes without doing any drum fills?" That's when you're a drummer. And I was like, "Oh." So that's when I started using the metronome, the metronome's here, and try to either be behind the beat or above the beat and just see the different feels, try to make them all worthwhile. And I got those kind of like shotgun earphones that they had the actual speakers in, or I would get a pair of earbuds and then put the cams over and just try to hear as best as I could without blowing my ears out. Now I mostly use it as a reference point to start a song. I don't necessarily play with a click the whole time, but I find it's best for the band and for the orchestra now, especially, that if it starts the same tempo every time, everybody's going to know where the one is, and I rely on my own internal metronome after that most of the time. Some songs I'll play all the way through, but I find that if you start the same tempo every night, nothing's going to go wrong as often. Well, the other metronomes I used to use, I've used a few different kinds. That some were visual, some were audio. Sometimes I prefer just the visual. If I have regular monitors, I don't want it. Depending on, like with the orchestra, I really like being quieter, no excess noise coming out that the mics pick up. But the other ones that I used to use, there was always lack of programmability, I guess the term would be. You only had 20, say you have a set list with 35 songs, or 35 different segments, and you only have 20, so you have to wing the other 15. That was really, with one of them, and there's nothing you could do about it. So either you had one, or you had to maybe switch halfway through, you had to use two of them. Whereas this one has, I think, up to 100, which is, hopefully I don't have to do a show that has 100 songs, then my arms will fall off. But, and then, other ones, and including the one I mainly used, the sonic, it was either ear piercing or eardrum killing, because of doop, doop, or beep, beep. And the second we plugged this guy in, it was instant. It was the sound I've been looking for years. And I worked with the monitor man just to make sure it was perfect. But I mean, instantly, it cut through all the excess, giant guitars, rumbling bass, or cymbals, or cellos and violins or whatever. And it's by far the easiest on the ear, but easiest to listen to metronome I've ever used. Also, I like the subdivision. Instead of having these knobs that you don't get it right all the time, this one you just you press the button and instantly you have 8/16, 16ths, triplets, whatever it is, whatever you need. And also the tempo, you can do 138, say, or you can do 138.1 or 138.4, just to get crazy with the cheese whiz. You can just you can have any tempo you really want, and it's easy. Like I could be playing, put a stick in my armpit and be doing it without even thinking about it. And it's the readouts. It's all great. Initially, our plan was to. Unfortunately, the band is really locked into. I don't know if they even know that I'm using a click. I think they just think I have a really good time. But our plan was, say I'm using the click and I'm right in the middle, and I'm over here doing some things that I can't get over, and he hears, my tech Mark hears that we're off. We wanted to be able to turn it off, where he could turn it off. Whoa, whoa, whoa! They're off the map, and he could go. And I could look at him and go, and he would be able to stop it.
Or change it.
Or change it.
To the next song.
Next song.
Because you often segue.
I need to take a drink and I don't have time to.
Or you're segueing from one to the next.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, right now I use it I keep it in my pocket, put the pulse on my belt, and because I'm a stage manager too, so I'm running around doing other stuff, and I could usually tell if there's something like most of the songs he's dead on with the click, so it's like if he starts falling off the click or I hear something weird, then all of a sudden I know that something's wrong with the kit and I run over to see what's going on.
So it is a kind of
Yeah.
It's an extra signal that
It's
you
an
can-
extra signal. I
yeah.
mean, I have the click in my
Sure.
ears, but like I'm locked in through my whole body. Like I feel like if the whole thing starts driving off the tracks,
Someone
I
could be-
come running from the loading dock going, what the heck's going on?
I would say for any drummer to use a metronome is you should have your own internal clock, obviously, but practicing is essential with a metronome, whether you're a guitar player, drummer, piano player, because you should be able to play any rudiment or any scale or whatever it may be, and just different feels to know how it feels to play at 130 behind the beat, greasy, sloppy, or on top of the beat, and if you can play and realize that it's the same tempo, but the feel's completely different, then that'll help any musician, drummers in particular, to lead a band and know you don't actually have to slow the tempo down to make it feel slower or feel rushed. So I would say everybody should rehearse a metronome as much as possible. And I think start every song. Peterson BodyBeat Sync metronome really revolutionized any kind of metronome I've ever used. It's unbelievable. The options, the subdivisions, the tempos, the subtempos. Don't leave home without it.